Wait, there's an Aaron Sorkin movie written by him, and there's not an overabundance of actors walking down the hall talking and the camera following them? I kind of feel naked. Okay, you talk to any writer, I guarantee they all have a particular group of writers that they aspire to be in their own enterprises. I myself have some of my own, and one of them, the writer who is pretty much the top of that heap, who I know I probably never in a million years be able to top his talent or even equate it, that's Aaron Sorkin for me. He somehow is able to take stories which, in the hands of less experienced, less savvy writers, he takes stories that could have been bland and uneventful. He's able to make them all sing through solid acting, incredible character interaction, and dialogue that flows with this incredible ease that you just wonder what it is he does that just works so well. And I'm always astonished whenever I watch anything written by Aaron Sorkin. I'm just always trying to figure out what is his pattern and what is it that makes him so unique in the annals of screenwriting history. Molly's Game is particularly special because this is his directorial debut. And you know what? You would have sworn he's been directing movies for the longest time. Editing is great. His direction of the actors is incredible. It's a really great debut. Now, he's a man of considerable experience, and this experience is writ large upon the screen. The film revolves around a woman named Molly Bloom, a woman who had aspirations of being an Olympic skier in her youth, but then, very gradually, becomes the proprietor of one of the largest chains of underground poker tournaments. But as these things go very gradually, things start going south in the ways that you would expect. The plot is nothing new. I will say, with the exception of the climax, and even to an extent the climax, you do kind of see where it all goes. But that's always been the gift of Sorkin. I mean, let's face it, most of the movies he does, you always kind of see the resolution coming a mile away, but you don't care because the way he delivers the story, the way he writes the characters in the story, always makes it unique in its own right. And that's what made this one a lot of fun to watch. It is fun. It is dramatic. There is great humor in it. But the thing that just makes it work is the way Sorkin tells this particular story. We've seen stories kind of similar to this involving underground poker tournaments or underground gambling rings like Rounders, Lock, Stock, Two Smoking Barrels, and you always see how that stuff goes south because it's not so much about the direction she goes, but it's about the nature of what she does. Inevitably, she does start doing things that can definitely be construed as illegal, but the funny thing is the way she goes about them, and even the reason she goes about them, you're kind of left to wonder when you look out at the world and you see how many people do a lot of horrible things out there, murder, rape, manipulation, just these awful things, even stuff that even the people higher than her at, I don't know, up there, Capitol Hill. Yeah, even they are doing stuff way worse than what she's doing. In the end, what whittles it down is she's just running a series of underground poker tournaments, and inevitably she has to cross that line to keep it alive. And even then, the stuff she does, you think about who is she really hurting by what she's doing. Now, I'm not justifying what she's doing, but the way this film conveys it, it shows the idea that maybe, just maybe, certain things aren't as black and white as we think. That maybe just given the right circumstances, given the right reasoning, sometimes there isn't really much of a crime that needs punishing here. And these were the debates that were going through my head as I was watching this film, and especially because of the interactions between Jessica Chastain, who is absolutely on fire in her performance as Molly, and especially all the scenes where she's working off of Idris Elba, who plays her lawyer. And the centerpiece of this movie all revolves around the prep for her indictment. And it's some of the best exchanges in the movie, and that's not to diminish everything else. There's loads of great exchanges with a whole cornucopia of incredible actors. And actually, I gotta say, there's one actor who we've always kind of typecast as a particular type. I don't know if there's any truth in this. I mean, for all we know, this actor may be playing another actor, but just stepping in for him. Who knows? But I saw a different side to this actor that I never knew he even had, and I'm so happy to see it because it makes me look forward to seeing whatever he may do in the future. But seeing this actor who you never expect to see perform, Aaron Sorkin, delivering the dialogue so perfectly and adding a new spin on the way we usually see him, it's excellent. And that's part of the joy of this movie, and that's the joy of anything by Aaron Sorkin. It's seeing great actors, and even actors who you didn't really think were that great to begin with, just shine because they're given such great material to work with. And that is definitely the gift of this movie. And that's the reason why I definitely implore anyone to see not just this movie, but anything written by Aaron Sorkin. I would definitely say if you want to start with one of them, start with this one. Or A Few Good Men. That's a popular one. But definitely see this one. Now, if there's any cons I will say about this movie, I will say it's kind of long. It runs at about 2 hours and 22 minutes. And yeah, that is kind of a long movie to talk about a story like this. I mean, heck, American Made was way shorter than that, and it kind of followed the similar beats and was equally as fun. So there's maybe room that he probably could have tightened up a lot of stuff. Now, I'm not talking about any kind of scenes that maybe just could have been cut because they don't go anywhere. Actually, no, there's really nothing here that's extraneous. But maybe things could have been either truncated or maybe certain scenes married together, so that way we can keep it at a much quicker flow. And yeah, I know this is Aaron Sorkin dialogue flow and it's pretty quick in itself, but I'm talking about just story progression. That being said, though, when I got to the end, I felt like I watched something really special. Sometimes it's not about watching big explosions or crazy special effects. Sometimes it's just fun to watch great actors doing great writing in a story which isn't extraordinary, but it is interesting. And that is why Molly's Game is definitely worth a watch, and that is why I'm going to give it the Narcotic Casserole rating of... Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you think Aaron Sorkin's overrated? Or do you think this film is not the best of his oeuvre? Debatable. Leave it in the comments below. And for more addictive content on Narcotic Casserole, simply like, share, subscribe, click. Thou shalt be served.